Hello, I'm Casper Leitch, and thank you for taking time for Hemp. Today we are very honored to have a special guest on our program. This gentleman has changed country music forever with his voice, with his style, and with his singing. He's also helped an awful lot of farmers across America with their plights and their heartaches, and he's also brought to the public a message of hemp legalization that is backing people in Kentucky, such as Gatewood Galbraith and their campaigns, to just conversations on a daily basis on how we should save our planet. Our special guest today is Willie Nelson. Willie, thank you very much for being a guest on our show.
Glad to be here.
Willie, you've had a chance to see firsthand the heartaches and the plights that our farmers are going through. And a lot of people in their offices and driving to and from their jobs in LA and New York and Chicago don't see the heartache that you've had a chance to witness. Could you share some of that?
Well, whenever I first started hearing about the farmers' problems, I was born in a farm community, in a farm town. A lot of my friends are farmers. So I started checking it out. I heard these horror stories about farmers getting foreclosed on and losing their farms, and bankers who were once friendly, now unfriendly. And I heard all these things, and I said, well, something's going on that I'm not aware of. So I started checking it out. And millions of farmers all over this country had been losing their farms at the rate of 1 million a year.
What, acreages or million farms?
Farmers. And, you know, at one time there was 8 million working farmers in this country, American family farmers. Now we're down to probably less than 2 million. The big corporations, it's the old story of the big ones eating the little ones. And they're running the small farmer off the land. And when that happens, the farm town closes down. The first thing, the hospitals and the schools go, and then what happens is all these people are now unemployed. They move on to the next big city, which causes the same kind of problems in that city. I think that all the homelessness, alcoholism, insanity, all these things that we experience, unemployment in our country, can be traced back to the first time that the first American farmer was forced off his land when he was unable to make a living off of 100 or 200 acres of land. And the reason for it is because they have asked him, demanded or made it necessary that he raise a crop below what it costs him to raise it. Okay. He loses money on, for instance, if he, just example figures, for instance, if he were to, it costs him $2 to, or $3 to plant and raise and harvest a bushel of corn, and if he only gets $2.50 for that at the market, then he's losing. Right. And this is an accepted practice in American agriculture today, for the farmer to get less than what it costs him to grow. And they keep trying to justify it with subsidies and whatever. But the American farmer would rather go out here and work hard and make his money the hard way, the way he knows how to do it. Give him an acre, let him do what that acre can do. Let him do it without all the pesticides, without all the chemicals. Don't put his yield so low, his money so low, that he has to use every piece or every gallon of pesticides that he can find to pour on that acre of land in order to get enough money out to almost break even. They have forced him into this position. There are even banks who will not loan you any money at all unless you agree to use X amount of pesticides and chemicals on your land.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. Because they know that the only way you can make your payment is if you get so much off of that acre, and the only way you can get that much off of that acre is to keep pouring the chemicals to that 1 acre.
Wow. Well, now, when did you first become aware of hemp as a cash crop?
A couple of years ago I read a book I think that a lot of us have read by now called The Emperor Wears No Clothes, and it was in that book there was a reprint of an article. The one thing in that book that I saw that could not be argued with was an article that came out in 1938 edition of Popular Mechanics magazine, February edition, if anybody wants to go check it out, that said a new $1 billion crop for the farmers.
Do you think that farmers today would be receptive to growing hemp as a cash crop? Because of all the propaganda we've heard over the years, there are so many people now who believe that it's the evil weed. but we kind of figured, because of all the products that it can create, that it could be a solution.
Well, definitely. I think most people that I talked to had no idea, just like me, that hemp and marijuana was the same thing. We were ignorant of that fact. Also, we were ignorant of the fact that hemp could be used as food. It can be used as clothing. The first Levi's in this country were made from hemp. The first Bibles were printed on hemp paper. The Declaration of Independence, the first 2 copies of this was printed on hemp paper. People don't know that.
Willie, now, that kind of like points to some of the things that we were talking about on the income that can be generated for the farms and saving the farms and so on. And we were talking about the difficulty of trying to reintroduce it to the economy. Where do you see hemp actually taking the farmers? If they were to start being allowed to grow it, do you think hemp in and of itself could be the crop that would save the farms for America?
In the state of Kentucky, when the leading agricultural crop there in 1937 was hemp, when they took that away from the farmers, it would be like taking wheat away from Kansas, cotton away from Texas, cattle, away from. It's just devastating what has happened to the farmers in that area since their leading agricultural crop, which, as we've all seen, is a very beneficial, and not only beneficial, necessary plant that the earth needs. If it wasn't supposed to be there, the big guy wouldn't put it there. You know, he didn't make no mistakes. So he put hemp here for a reason. One of the reasons, I believe, is that the root is like 10 to 12 inches long, which literally holds the planet together. Now, what happens when you eradicate a plant from the planet? If you check history, every civilization that has gone under since the beginning of time has gone under because of soil erosion and the inability of the people to be able to feed themselves. Now, is that a serious problem today? Look at Bangladesh.
Yeah, really
look at the places on the planet where hemp has been made illegal to grow. In the state of Iowa, that state in the last 100 years has lost over 50% of its topsoil.
Wow.
So we're talking about farming areas that are going down the drain because of some some very well-planned conspiracy to take the hemp plant off the planet to keep it from being competition to the other products that it would be competition to, your petrochemicals, your paper, all the textiles. Now, business is business, as they say, and anything is fair in love and war. But when you start taking something that valuable away from the planet, you're affecting other things other than just business associates. You're affecting our children who eat, and you're affecting yourself and me. We're taking food away from, healthy food away from our families, and we're taking the healthy soil away from our planet.
What do you think it would take to get the farmers to rally around this plant and to unite across the United States and say, give us the right to grow this plant so that we can start utilizing it for industrial purposes?
Well, the biggest problem is knowledge, education. I think this is the first thing that has to be done. The American farmer has to be made aware that 50 years ago this was a legal crop, and why was it taken away? I think he has to start asking himself, why is this hidden from me? Let his curiosity start growing. Why did my grandfather plant hemp, and why can I not plant hemp? Now, I've heard all about the big scare, the marijuana thing, but most people who have lived any length of time at all and have been around anything at all on this planet knows that if we have any serious problems in the world, which we do, marijuana is not one of them.
No, not really.
Not one of them. When you start listing our serious problems, it's way down on the list somewhere. And it might be even one of our greatest assets that has been disguised to make appear to be a bad guy. So I think what the farmer should do, and not only the farmer, every taxpayer out there, everybody who's affected, everybody who eats food, should start wondering, why are we so kept in the dark over this one plant, the hemp plant?
If you had the opportunity to express yourself at any one point in time to the American people and deliver the message of the farmer, what would you say?
Well, first of all, the fact that you're able to do this television show and I'm here talking on it and people are able to watch it on their television, it means that this idea has come. It's time for people to consider it and make a decision one way or another. And it's a question you have to ask yourself. Is it important? Is the planet worth saving? Can hemp really save the planet? If it can, why is it kept such a secret from us? Ask yourself these questions, call around, do some research, and make your own conclusions.
I tell you, we are facing a world that needs medicines, we are facing a world that needs food, and we're facing a world that's rather stubborn when it comes to dealing with the topic of drugs. They seem to overlook the fact that marijuana is a legal plant, a hemp plant that can be grown for, as we've said, paper, fiber, and fuel. We have people overseas who are growing it for just that. Is there anything that we can learn from our brothers and sisters overseas, do you think, that would help reintroduce us into our economy?
Well, you must remember that our brothers and sisters overseas are controlled by the same people who control us here. Their planting habits. Hemp is illegal on many parts of the planet, and it's been made illegal by the same people who made it illegal here. The oil companies, the petrochemical people, who are the paper industries, the people who own trees on this planet, who would rather see us chop down the trees and make paper rather than use hemp, which could save all the trees. There's a lot of opposition here, so this is a war that we're just on the beginning stages of, and there will be opposition from a lot of people. There'll be a lot of people throwing a lot of accusations at you, at me, so you better be ready for it.
Willie, it has been a joy to have you on our program today. You know, to have the honor of you coming in here and speaking on behalf of the farmers. I mean, you have a voice of authority, you know, because you've seen it and you've been there. And we want to wish you all the luck in what you're doing. Is there any place that anybody can write or get in contact if they want to get and participate in farm aid, or if they want to find some way of helping the farmers in their states? Is there any organizations that you can think of that might benefit from?
There are many organizations. Farm aid funds many different organizations, agricultural movements in all the states, all the areas, and it's very simple to find out who in your area represents the farmers, the Farmers Alliance or whatever. There's many organizations, and you can look in your phone book or ask your neighbor and find out who. Or you can also call 1-800-FARM-AID.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Again, I want to thank you all for tuning in to enjoy this program called Time for Hemp. We realize that sometimes we walk on the edge, but our purpose here is to educate and to help free the victims from their pains and their plights. So the next time that you have the opportunity to sit down with a little time on your hands, pick up a piece of paper and pencil, write your congressperson, write your senators, write the president, write the vice president, get up off your fannies and get out that door and go actually do something physical to make this world a better place. I hope that you've had the opportunity to enjoy the benefits of hemp in your life in various fashions, and I hope that the next time you see me, you'll know that it's time for hemp. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.
Cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yes, it's time for hemp. Whoa, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all